Once upon a time, there was a woman named Samantha who had always been a people pleaser. She had a heart of gold and would do anything to make others happy, even if it meant sacrificing her own happiness and well-being. She never said no to anyone and always took on more than she could handle. Samantha worked long hours at her job and then spent her free time helping friends and family with their problems. She rarely had time for herself and was always exhausted and stressed out. Despite all of this, she continued to push herself to the limit, believing that it was her duty to help others and that saying no would make her a bad person. As time went on, Samantha's health began to suffer. She developed anxiety and depression, and her relationships with friends and family became strained. She started to feel resentful and angry towards the people in her life who were always demanding her time and energy. She knew something needed to change, but she didn't know how to break out of the cycle she had created. One day, Samantha was scrolling through social media when she came across a post about the importance of setting boundaries for a positive and healthy life. It caught her attention, and she started reading more about the topic. As she read, she began to realize that her lack of boundaries was at the root of all her problems. She realized that setting boundaries wasn't about being selfish or uncaring, it was about valuing herself enough to prioritize her own needs and well-being. She decided to start small and began saying no to requests that didn't align with her values or that she simply didn't have the time or energy for. It was hard at first, and she worried about disappointing others, but she soon realized that the world didn't fall apart just because she said no. As Samantha continued to set boundaries, she started to feel more in control of her life. She had more time for self-care and activities she enjoyed, and her relationships improved because she was no longer resentful and overextended. She learned that setting boundaries wasn't about closing herself off from the world, but about creating healthy relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. Samantha also realized that setting boundaries meant learning to communicate effectively with others. She learned how to express her needs and desires in a way that was assertive but not aggressive. She learned to listen actively to others and to respect their boundaries as well. As Samantha's life continued to improve, she became passionate about sharing her journey with others. She started a blog where she shared tips and insights on setting boundaries, and she even started coaching others on how to do the same. Through her work, Samantha met many people who, like her, had struggled with setting boundaries. She heard stories of burnout, resentment, and broken relationships. But she also saw firsthand the transformative power of setting boundaries. She watched as her clients gained confidence, improved their relationships, and began living happier, more fulfilling lives. Looking back on her own journey, Samantha knew that setting boundaries had been the key to her success. She had learned that it was okay to put herself first, that saying no didn't make her a bad person, and that she deserved to live a life that was positive and healthy. In the end, Samantha realized that setting boundaries was not just an important part of a healthy life, it was essential. It was the foundation upon which she had built her success, and it was the key to helping others do the same. She knew that there would always be challenges and obstacles along the way, but with the right mindset and tools, anything was possible. And so, Samantha continued on her journey, spreading the message of the importance of setting boundaries and empowering others to live their best lives. She knew that the road ahead would not always be easy. But she was determined to keep moving forward and to help as many people as she could along the way. She knew that setting boundaries was not just a one-time event, but a lifelong process of self-care and self-respect. Through her work, Samantha also discovered that setting boundaries was not just about saying no to others, but about saying yes to herself. It was about giving herself permission to pursue her dreams, to prioritize her health and well-being, and to live life on her own terms. As she continued to grow and evolve, Samantha realized that setting boundaries was not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It was a way of taking control of her life and creating a positive and healthy future. And it was a way of showing others that they too could do the same. In the end, Samantha knew that her journey was far from over, but she was excited for what lay ahead. She was grateful for the lessons she had learned and the people she had helped along the way. And she was inspired to continue living her life with purpose, passion, and positivity. So if you find yourself struggling with the demands of others and feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, remember the importance of setting boundaries. Remember that it's okay to say no, to put yourself first, and to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. Remember that setting boundaries is not just about creating healthy relationships with others, but about creating a healthy relationship with yourself. And most importantly, remember that you are worth it. You deserve to live a life that is positive and healthy, and setting boundaries is the first step on that journey. So take that step today, and start creating the life you deserve.